Chapter 12, Refrigeration Cycles. All right, everyone, today we are going to have a very easy chat about how refrigerators and air conditioners work. Just like telling a simple story about how to keep your drinks cold and your room cool. So imagine you have a little magic box. When you put your ice cream inside, it stays cold, even though the kitchen is warm. That magic box is a refrigerator, and it works by moving heat from the cold place inside to the hot kitchen outside. Sounds funny, right? Usually heat likes to go from hot to cold, like when your hot chocolate cools down. But the fridge does the opposite, using a trick called the refrigeration cycle. To do this trick, the refrigerator uses a special friend called a refrigerant. Think of it like a little runner that keeps going in circles. It runs into your fridge to grab heat, runs out to the back of the fridge to throw the heat away, and keeps running like a superhero. The cycle goes like this. First, the refrigerant enters the compressor, which is like a pump that squeezes it very hard, making it hot and high pressure. Then it goes through the condenser, like a radiator, where it cools down by giving heat to the kitchen air and becomes a liquid. After that, it goes through a skinny pipe called an expansion valve, where it suddenly drops pressure and becomes cold. Then it goes into the evaporator inside the fridge, where it picks up heat for your food and becomes vapor again, ready to be squeezed in the compressor. There is also something called COP, or coefficient of performance, which is like the scorecard of your refrigerator. It tells you how many units of cooling you get for every unit of electricity you use. A higher COP means your fridge is doing a great job. There is a cousin of the fridge called a heat pump, which works the same way, but in reverse during winter. It takes heat from outside and puts it into your house. In the world of engineers, there are two kinds of cycles we talk about. The ideal cycle, which is like a perfect dream where everything works smoothly, and the real cycle, where things like friction and leaks make it a bit messy. That's why we also study actual cycles where we see small losses, just like sometimes your toy car doesn't go as fast as you thought. There are different types of refrigeration systems. The most famous one is called the vapor compression cycle, which is in your fridge and air conditioner. There is also a gas refrigeration cycle for planes and an absorption cycle where we use heat instead of electricity to move the refrigerant. Engineers also care a lot about choosing the right refrigerant. Some old refrigerants, like R12, were harmful to the ozone layer, so we now use safer options like R134A or R32 that keep the air clean and protect the environment. At the end of the day, your fridge and air conditioner are just smart little machines moving heat around using energy, keeping your food fresh and your room cool. Next time you hear your fridge making a little hum, remember there's a tiny refrigerant running around inside doing all the hard work for you. That's all for today. Next time, we'll play with numbers and see how much energy these machines really use.